This is Geet Govind by Jaydev Goswami. हरे कृष्णा. डिड यू ऑल, आप लोगों को मिला ग्रुप में? डिड यू ऑल गेट इट? श्री जयदेव गोस्वामी की जय. श्रित कमला कुच मंडल धृत कुंडल है. ओके, आई टेल यू हाउ वी विल सिंग. तो हम पहला लाइन गाएंगे साथ में, उसके बाद दूसरा लाइन दो भाग में, इन टू पार्ट्स. फर्स्ट पार्ट, सेकेंड पार्ट. श्रित कमला कुच मंडल धृत कुंडल. श्रित कमला कुच मंडल धृत कुंडल है. कलित ललित वनमाला जय जय देव हरे. जय जय देव हरे. दीनमणि मंडल मदना भवकंडन है. दीनमणि मंडल मदना भवकंडन है. मुनि जन मानस हंस मुनि जन मानस हंस. जय जय देव हरे. कालिया विषधर गंजन जन रंजन है. कालिया विषधर गंजन जन रंजन है. यदुकुल नलिन दिनेश यदुकुल नलिन दिनेश. जय जय देव हरे. मधुमुर नरक विनाशन गरुडासन है. मधुमुर नरक विनाशन गरुडासन है. सुरकुल केलि निदान सुरकुल केलि निदान जय जय देव हरे। अमल कमल दल लोचन भव मोचन है। अमल कमल दल लोचन भव मोचन है। त्रिभुवन भुवन निदान, त्रिभुवन भुवन निदान, जय जय देव हरे। जनक सुता कृत भूषण जित दूषण है। जनक सुता कृत भूषण जित दूषण है। समर शमित दश कंठ, समर शमित दश कंठ, जय जय देव हरे। अभिनव जलधर सुंदर धृत मंदर है। अभिनव जलधर सुंदर धृत मंदर है। श्री मुख चंद्र चकोरा, श्री मुख चंद्र चकोरा, जय जय देव हरे। तव चरणं प्रणतावयम् इति भावये। तव चरणं प्रणतावयम् इति भावये। कुरु कुशलं प्रणतेषु, कुरु कुशलं प्रणतेषु, जय जय देव हरे। श्री जय देव कवेरिदं कुरुते मुदमे। श्री जय देव कवेरिदं कुरुते मुदमे। मंगलमुज्ज्वल गीतम्, मंगलमुज्ज्वल गीतम्, जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे श्री जयदेव गोस्वामी की जय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So very happy to be here amidst all the wonderful Margaon devotees. I was just thinking, this place is so wonderful. The AC is so nice. The sound system is so good. The ambience is so good. Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we have this wonderful ISKCON center here at Margaon. The whole idea behind this place is where we can all come together, devotees can come and discuss more about Srila Prabhupada's books and books written by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. I think Sandeep Krishna Prabhu, they organized this 3-4 sessions. One of the sessions was books are the basis. We had done that 3-4 session series. So Srila Prabhupada made this institution so that, in a wonderful setting, devotees can come together and read and understand and relish and absorb ourselves in books. So for us to grow in spiritual life, books are very, very important. One time someone asked Srila Prabhupada, all your disciples are bookworms. They told Prabhupada, all your disciples are bookworms. So Prabhupada became very happy. Prabhupada said, it's better to be bookworm. If you don't become bookworm, then probably in some species you will actually become a worm somewhere. Right? So in order to get rid of the cycle of birth and death, very important that we spend time understanding books. For us, Srila Prabhupada's books are the top priority. Srila Prabhupada has given us Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, and all these books. So whatever we discuss in the satsangs, it is all based on books. There's no speaker who is inventing something of his own. It's all based on Shastras. So just like Srila Prabhupada's books are also important, similarly we need to remove some time to read books like this, The Journey Home, which are written by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Because these disciples have had such very close association of Srila Prabhupada, and these are like great souls, contemporary acharyas who are walking the surface of this earth. Reading such books also nourishes your heart in a very powerful way. There's a verse in Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. One should regularly serve Bhagavat. And Srila Prabhupada explains there that There are two types of Bhagavat. One is book Bhagavat, and the other is a person Bhagavat, one who lives according to book Bhagavat. Book Bhagavat is very important, but sometimes book Bhagavat is very philosophical, right? So, but when we read the story of some great personality who has lived in accordance with that book Bhagavat, you are able to connect. Book Bhagavat teaches you principles and stories of great personalities like Srila Prabhupada and all these great acharyas. When you see those principles reflecting in their life, you can understand the same principles through a case study or through a story. How many of you all have read Radhanath Swami Maharaj's Journey Home book? Please raise your hands. Good. Quite a few devotees have read, and quite a few devotees have not read. So this seminar will be useful for both. For those who have read, it is like you all can, recollect all those past times that you all have read and come across. And for those who have not read, this is like a little introduction to this book. This book is such an amazing book. It has so many life lessons that Maharaj gives in this book. This book is entitled The Journey Home. So all of us in life are on a journey. We are on a yatra, and we all want to reach home. Home is a place where there is security, there is love, there is safety, relationships. That's what we are looking for. So we are all in that search for that home, that divine abode. So here is the story of a young boy called Richard Slavin. Way back in the 1970s, he leaves his land, his country, America, in search of God. He has no clue who God is. He has no understanding of how to find God, nothing. But there is a sincere yearning, a sincere desire to achieve God. So this book has a lot of life lessons, but one central lesson is this, that if you don't know anything, there is one thing that you should definitely have, that is a sincere desire. And Lord Krishna definitely answers your sincere desire. Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. So Lord Krishna says, anyone who wants to achieve Him, Lord Krishna gives the intelligence. He sends people in such a person's life in which such a person can go closer to Krishna. So this story is the story of one young boy, Richard Slavin, who left America in search of God, how he lands up in Vrindavan, how he meets Srila Prabhupada. It's an amazing story. We have named this seminar as The Heart of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is definitely one who chants Hare Krishna. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri, the residents of Kulina Gram came and asked Mahaprabhu, who is a Vaishnava? Mahaprabhu said, anyone who chants Hare Krishna is a Vaishnava. But along with that, we understand that being a Vaishnava is something very, very high. We may call ourselves a devotee, but what a devotee means is a very high standard. So what is the heart of a Vaishnava? What are the qualities that a Vaishnava should have so that we can attract Krishna's mercy in our life? This story has very important lessons which we can reflect on, and even if we can apply few of them, our life will be very, very perfect. So without further delay, there are a lot of stories and lessons, but in whatever short time we have, we'll try to share something. You all can repeat this shloka after me. Param Pujya Radhanath Swami Maharaj, at the start of this book, he writes this verse, which sets the entire mood for this book and the entire mood, the purpose of our life, why we are there in this Krishna conscious movement. This is the prayer of Kunti Maharani. You all can repeat this verse after me. Tvai me ananya vishaya matir madhupate sakrit rattim udvahatat adha gange vogam udanvati. So Kunti Maharani is praying to Lord Krishna, my dear Lord, my dear sweet Lord, just like Ganga continuously, non-stop it flows, overcoming all obstacles to reach the sea. My dear Lord, my only prayer is, let my attraction be only to you, and let my attraction not be diverted to anything else. such an beautiful and an exalted prayer. So this should be our sincere desire. We may be in a level where we have unlimited distractions. Our mind is everywhere. But at least when we come in front of Krishna, we should at least pray to Krishna that Krishna, please remove all those distractions so that I can just focus on you and let my mind be on you. So this book will inspire all of us how we can focus our energy, our mind more and more in Krishna. Radhanath Swami Maharaj writes in this book, how did he get the idea of writing this book? Maharaj is a very humble and a very modest person. He never speaks about himself. If you have seen Maharaj's vocabulary, he will never speak his stories, nothing. You see, Maharaj wrote this book somewhere in 2005, 2006, 7. That's where he started. But this story happened in 1970s. And we have been hearing Maharaj's lecture for like 20-25 years. None of those lectures Maharaj has mentioned any one of the story. For all of us, if we have even one of these experiences, we will make a story viral in the social media. This is what has happened to me. But Maharaj was quiet for all these years. He never wanted to speak about himself. But in 2005, Radhanath Swami Maharaj's best friend, Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, who happened to be an Afro-American, he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. So the doctors told him, you have a few months to live. So Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj called up Radhanath Maharaj and told him, my desire is in my final days, I want you to be with me. I want to die in your presence. For Maharaj, it is always people over projects. So Maharaj was already quite famous by that time in 2005. He had programs all over the world lined up. But because his dear friend told him, please stay with me, Maharaj, without a second thought, he cancelled all those programs just to stay indefinitely with Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. And in one of those days, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj takes the hand of Radhanath Maharaj in his hand and tells him, I want you to give me a promise. And he tells him, this story of yours. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was a very close friend of Radhanath Swami. He knew all these stories. No one else knew, but Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj knew it. And he also knew that Radhanath Maharaj will never speak about it. So he made him promise, please promise to me on my deathbed that you will write this story in the form of a book. This is not your story. This is a story of how Krishna has brought a living entity at his feet. Don't be a miser, write this book. So Radhanath Maharaj at that point promises that he will write a book. So in honor of his friend's promise, Maharaj writes this book. So the first lesson, so basically the way we'll be doing this presentation is we'll have a story and then a lesson that we can learn from. The lesson is, okay, so after Maharaj wrote that book, Journey Home, Radhanath Maharaj's preaching scaled up to another level. Maharaj was already preaching around the world, but after that book, he became an international celebrity. Presidents, prime ministers of countries started to meet him. And what the learning is, because Radhanath Maharaj sacrificed all his programs indefinitely to please one god brother of his, the result is that he got success in many folds beyond what he can imagine. So in life, whenever we get an opportunity to serve someone, especially serve some particular Vaishnava, we should never be calculative. Because if we are very calculative, we will get what we calculate. But if you stop being calculative and you just do service in a very selfless way, then Krishna's calculation comes in play. And Krishna's calculation is far beyond our own calculation. And we have these stories in the Ramayana. We all know that when Vishwamitra Muni came to Dasharath Maharaj was planning for the marriage of Ram. And Dasharath was thinking, why is this Vishwamitra come? He's an enemy. His name is Vishwamitra. He's a friend of the world. But Dasharath was thinking that this fellow is my enemy. He has come to disturb my plan. But Dasharath Maharaj selflessly served Vishwamitra. And this same Vishwamitra became the cause of Ram getting married to Sita. And not only Ram, Vishwamitra got the other three brothers of Ram married to the three sisters of Sita. So when we serve without calculation, what we get in return is unlimited times more. Radhanath Maharaj mentions in the start of his book, when he was like 8-9 years old, a young boy, He had a very strange habit. He would never sit on a chair. I mean, for an American boy to do this is completely strange. Therefore, we understand that certain things come from a previous life, right? So, someone, Lord Krishna tells in the 8th chapter of Gita, someone who's not completed it, he starts off on a very high level. So, Maharaji, right from the beginning, he had this natural quality of being humble. He never sat on a chair. Even when he would go to a restaurant, he would stand and eat. And the waiters would ask the family, why is this boy standing? And the mother would say, this boy doesn't believe in chairs. He likes to sit, he likes to stand, or he likes to sit. And something interesting, a very touching story. Maharaj was with his entire family in a restaurant. And suddenly, he just comes out of the restaurant and sits in the car. And his grandfather, Bill, he comes out and is asking him, why did you do that? He tells him, the boy who's serving, the waiter, he's my classmate. So if I sit there, first he will feel very bad, and more than that, I will be very embarrassed to eat from him. I just cannot do it. So Maharaj, right from the beginning, he had this very important quality of being sensitive to others. You see, Radhanath Maharaj, by this time, he's not even grown up into a youth. He's not even come across a spiritual path. But when all these qualities are already set in the heart, and then when that seed of bhakti comes now, then that person shoots up very well. So therefore, making the heart fertile with these qualities is very, very important. Srila Prabhupada would say 99% of spiritual life depends on chanting. But for that chanting to happen well, these qualities are very important. We cannot underestimate, sideline these qualities. So it's very important that we are sensitive to others. We don't hurt others. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of our great acharyas, he mentions in his bhajan, Jivana nirvahe aane udvega nadibe, para upakare nija sukha pasaribe. Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions, as I live life, let me not hurt others. Jivana nirvahe aane udvega nadibe. Let me not be the cause of anxiety for others. And let me give up my own enjoyment. Nija sukha pasaribe para upakare kare. In order to help others, let me come out of my own selfishness. So this is a very important mood that we should all try to develop about being sensitive to others. So often we just speak something and do something that hurts others, and we are so unconscious, we are so numb, we don't even understand that we have hurt others. What to speak of saying sorry, we don't even understand. So spiritual life means becoming more and more refined. So as Maharaji enters into his teenage life and he was doing his college, one particular year, he and his friend Gary, they decided, it was summer vacation time, they decided that let's go out to Europe. Anyway, 2 months is holiday now, let's just go out to Europe. So they just went out, Gary and one more friend of his, they just went out to Europe. And as the summer vacations was ending, they realized that their real schooling was starting. They were actually thinking that what we are learning in these 2 months, being out on the street, we have not got so much knowledge in our 19 years of being in school. So they just decided to go on and on. And as they were hitchhiking, taking lift from one place to another, by this time they had exhausted all their money also. They come to Greece. And in Greece, they come to a port city called Isle of Crete. And in this port city, both of them decide, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, Richard Slavin, he was called then, and his good friend Gary Liss. So they decide that let us sit here and meditate, waiting for some answer to come from God, some path to be cleared, what we should do next. Weeks and weeks they were doing meditation. They would come and sit on the shore, meditate. Evening they would go back, they would stay in a cave and they would share whatever experiences they had. One particular day, both of them came back very, very happy. And both of them said, God spoke to us. God has told us the plan. So Gary said, God has told me go to Israel. And young Richard, he said, God has told me go to India. And Gary was in a shock. He said, how can you go to India? To go to India, you have to cross Afghanistan, Turkey, Afghanistan, Pakistan, dangerous tract of land. So Gary told Richard, You come with me to Israel. We'll go and meet Jesus first there. And then let us all go together to India. We'll meet Krishna there. Maharaj said, nothing doing. My call is very, very strong. God within me is calling me very strongly, go to India. I have to go. Now for these two people, their money was already over by then. They only had each other as their support. At this point, both of them were going to get parted. And young Richard was ready to take a risk in life. So the lesson is, you don't achieve anything big in life without taking some risk. कुछ ना कुछ risk तो लेना ही पड़ेगा. Imagine if this boy Richard didn't listen to that call. If he didn't listen, if he was scared of all those things that would happen and he would say, let me just stay here, we wouldn't have Radhanath Swami. He wouldn't be doing so much preaching around. He wouldn't have met Srila Prabhupada. So when that call of God comes, we have to be ready to follow that call. And to follow that call, there is some sacrifice, some risk you have to take. In a few days, we are coming up with Sharad Purnima, the start of Kartik. Sharad Purnima is the day where Lord Krishna called the gopis. Just like Lord Krishna called young Richard, come to India. Krishna called all the gopis, come and dance with me in the middle of the night. And the gopis also had to take a lot of risk. They knew that if we go now, probably our family is not going to accept us. But they did take that risk. And because they took that risk, they are celebrated as the greatest of all devotees. So we have to be ready to follow our spiritual heart. At some time, we'll have to take that risk and go ahead. Srila Prabhupada is a classic example. Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 70, he took the risk of going to America. Without any contact, without any money, without even health, Prabhupada goes to America. Imagine if Prabhupada didn't take that risk, we wouldn't have the society, we wouldn't be sitting here, right? So they say in English, the biggest risk in life is not to take any risk. If you're stuck in your comfort zone, you'll not achieve anything. So Krishna is there outside our comfort zone. And especially as devotees of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada inspired all of us in this preaching mood. And the mood of preaching is, you have to be risk takers. Srila Prabhupada would say, my only problem is I cannot think small. Right? You have to be big thinkers and you have to take that risk. This movie Mahavatar Narsimha is classic example of risk taking. This director, Mr. Ashwin, he didn't know also whether this movie is going to go or not. He didn't even have money. They sold all their properties and invested in it. And this movie has become a super hit. So there are n number of examples to inspire all of us that in our own life, we all have our comfort zone. And in our own life, Krishna is calling us in some way or the other to inspire us to surrender to Him. It is up to us whether we want to come out of that comfort zone or just stay stuck there. So Maharaj, in his travels, he comes to Afghanistan. And in Afghanistan, there is this place called Kandahar. So Maharaj was meeting one person, one Muslim guy called Haris. So they were in a rooftop, evening time, very cold. And suddenly as they are discussing, this Haris, he put his head on top and started to howl like a wolf. Maharaj was scared. What is this guy doing? Suddenly imagine you're talking to someone and that fellow is starting to howl like a wolf. You'll really get scared, right? So Maharaj was very scared. And this Haris howled like a wolf, put a rope down. And he pulled that rope on top. A mongoose came out. And as they were discussing, this mongoose climbed the back of Richard, Radhanath Swami. And by the time he had long hair, because that was a style, hippie culture, he had very long hair. So this mongoose went on the neck and took rest under that hair, because probably it was feeling cold, it wanted some warmth. Went and sat there. So Radhanath Maharaj is thinking, what is this happening? So he's telling Mr. Haris, please remove this mongoose friend of yours. Haris said, no, this mongoose has gone to sleep. And there's a saying, if you wake up a sleeping mongoose, it can be very deadly. It can rip your neck to pieces. And Haris tells him, don't even move. Don't even move by an inch. This mongoose will kill you. And Haris slowly, he's talking to him for some time and then he feels sleepy. He goes away. So Radhanath Maharaj is thinking, what is this going on? This mongoose is here, and that too mongoose had so many insects on its body. All those insects eating him. He cannot go to sleep. He's feeling so frustrated he can't do anything else. And the weight is also heavy. His neck is like paining so much. But he had to tolerate. 6 hours the mongoose was there in that neck. So Maharaji explains in that Journey Home book, the first few hours he was so frustrated. All negative thoughts were coming in. Why did I leave my home? Why did I come here? Why did this Harish do this? This fellow is such a useless guy. Why did this mongoose come? And so many thoughts. The whole world became his enemy. But suddenly he realized that there is no point thinking negative. I'm already miserable because the mongoose is here. Now if I think negative, I'll become more miserable. So he started to think, probably there is a reason why this mongoose has been sent in my life. And he thought, as soon as he thought this, that what is this reason, he started to think in that direction. He got an answer that probably this mongoose has come to teach me the quality of patience. So Maharaj was thinking, it is just the start of my journey. And in order to achieve God, this quality of patience is very important. Probably this mongoose is not an enemy as I think him to be. Probably he's a friend who's coming to teach me something. This one thing you'll find throughout the journey home. Maharaj goes through many different situations, very difficult, very troublesome situations. But in every situation, he sees that situation as a blessing, as an opportunity to go closer to God. Situations in life are not under our control, right? When problems will come and sit on our neck, we have no idea what kind of problem it's going to be. How we perceive that situation is very much in our hand. Therefore, the saying in English, the mind can make hell into heaven and heaven into hell. If you are able to perceive the situation in a good way, even if you are in hell, you can still feel peaceful. But if you are not able to perceive a situation in a particular way, even if you are in heaven, you will be miserable. So it's ultimately a mind game. How do we perceive various people and various situations in our life? So this quality of patience is very important. Srila Rupa Goswami speaks about this quality of dhairyat. We see in the life of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada went in the year 1966. Prabhupada started ISKCON. But Prabhupada started to preach way back from 1922 when he met his Guru Maharaj. So 40 years Prabhupada was literally struggling, trying, but no results. And because he tried with so much patience, and finally there is ISKCON through which he gets success. We have the example of Shabari, who is ready to wait her entire life patiently for Lord Ram to come. When Maharaj was in Kandahar, when he was just leaving Kandahar, he saw one blind boy, a Muslim boy, no eyes, very not beautiful looking. But this boy was singing in his own Urdu language the glories of Allah with such love. That boy, he was not only happy, but he filled happiness in that entire area. So Maharaj learned a very important lesson looking at this boy, that happiness is not on externals. It's not dependent on things. Happiness is dependent on your connection with God. Therefore Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhaya sparshesu asaktatma vindati atmani yat sukham sa brahma yoga yuktatma sukham akshayam ashnute. Sukham akshayam ashnute. Akshaya means eternal. Just like we have Akshaya Tritiya, na? People buy gold on Akshaya Tritiya, hoping that the gold will keep increasing more and more. I don't know for how many people it has happened, but good thought. So we all want happiness. Sukham akshayam ashnute. We want eternal happiness. So where is eternal happiness? Lord Krishna tells here, Bhaya sparshesu asaktatma. If you want eternal happiness, it is not on the external level. You have to be detached on that external level. And where you will find it? Sa Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. One who connects to that Supreme, that is a person who is going to find eternal happiness. We have in our scriptures the example of Sudama, who was very poor but very happy with his connection with God. And in the same scriptures, you have the example of Hiranyakashipu, who had everything, but he was not at all happy. So happiness is in your connection with Krishna, right? The more rich you are, the more deeply you are connected to Krishna. So when Maharaj from Kandahar, he comes to a place called Kabul. And in Kabul, he is sitting out, next to a river, doing his meditation in the middle of the night, very freezing cold. There there was a very beautiful lady, a Dutch lady, who comes to him and tells him, please come to my house. And Maharaj, anyway, he was feeling very cold there. He goes to this lady's house. She feeds him cake and milk and everything. He's like, Maharaj is like very happy. After a long time, he's getting some food. And then he's given a bed. Maharaj goes to sleep. When he's up, almost asleep, this lady comes completely undressed and tells Maharaj that I want to enjoy with you. Now, this is like a big temptation. So Maharaj at that point, he had like few seconds to deal with the situation. And not only this, there was a bodyguard, an Afghani bodyguard of this lady, and this guy was pressuring him, enjoy with this lady, otherwise I will kill you. So Maharaj had this lady and this bodyguard, difficult situation. So Maharaj gathered himself. In those few seconds, he made a call. He pushed this lady, escaped from this bodyguard and ran away. And Maharaj, as he was running and running and running, he started to think that this kama, this lust is so powerful that it can completely devour a person. Person even doesn't know what he is doing, whether it's right or wrong. And Maharaj also started to reflect why in the spiritual tradition so many people take to the order of renunciation in order to overcome all these propensities. Today is the day of Dashara. Today is the day where when Lord Ram killed Ravan. Ravan represents lust. Ravan in his Lanka, he had the most beautiful women. All the beautiful women in the world, he kidnapped them and brought them to Lanka. Still Ravan was not satisfied. Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, lust is like fire. The more you feed it, the more it is going to burn. And the only way you can actually get rid of this disease of lust, this fire of lust, is by the mercy of Lord Ram. So Radhanath Maharaj at that point, he didn't even come to India, but he had this understanding that why in spiritual traditions, in all traditions, whether it is Christian religion, Hindu religion, people take up to the order of renunciation. That day, that night, Maharaj made a vow that I will become a lifelong celibate. Can you imagine this? The 4 regulative principles Maharaj started to follow it even before he met Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj mentions there that in order to overcome this passion, Lord Krishna tells in the 3rd chapter of Gita, Kama esha krodesha rajogunat samudbhava. This lust is born out of rajogun. Rajogun is called passion, the mode of passion. In order to overcome that passion, one needs passion for something else. When one is passionate about spiritual life, when one is very enthusiastic, eager to experience that connection with Krishna, then only it is possible. Therefore, we have example of Haridas Thakur, Raghunath Das Goswami. They all had temptations in their life, right? But they all overcame these temptations because they had a higher calling, a higher taste. Param drishtva nivartate. Because they were experiencing a higher taste, their thirst for experiencing love for Krishna helped them overcome that urge for lust. So as Maharaji, he's traveling through all these places. I'm not getting into each and every story, but I'm just selecting few. As Maharaji travels to all these places, he crosses Pakistan, the border. There also, the guard was not allowing Maharaj, but Maharaj was literally begging. Can you imagine? Maharaj just reached the border of India, the India-Pakistan border. And there was a lady guard who tells him, please go back to America. It's basically like in Ras Leela, in Sharad Purnima night, when Krishna was called all the gopis left everything and came to Krishna. And Krishna is telling all of them, I just wanted to test all of y'all, now y'all can go back. The gopis are thinking, what is this nonsense? So Maharaj has left everything and he's come to India, border of India, and that border security officer is telling him, please go back. We have sufficient beggars in India, we don't want another. So Maharaj was very determined. Now coming all the way, he is not going to go back. So our determination will be tested through many, many situations. And then finally, there was a Sikh officer who comes, and this Sikh officer, his heart melts and he allows Maharaj inside. So when Maharaj comes to India and he comes to Delhi, he has a little different experience in Delhi. So he is walking on the streets of Delhi. Someone gives him a bang, someone puts a snake around him and all that. But there was one guy who takes him to a roadside restaurant and tells him that I will sponsor a meal for you. probably you have not eaten for a long time. He orders a meal. First time Maharaj is seeing an Indian food in front of him. So this guy is trying to explain to him what this food is. He's telling him this is rice, this is chapati, this is Indian bread, this is sabji, this is dal, lentil soup, like that. And then he points to a piece of meat and says, this is meat. As this person is describing, telling him this is meat, right at that time, there was a cow and calf just next to Maharaj. Because in India, it's very common, these cattle roam very freely in the streets. In US, it doesn't happen like that. So first time Maharaj was seeing a cow and calf at such close proximity. And this cow was licking the calf was drinking the milk of the mother, and both the cow and calf started to lick Maharaj. And Maharaj was feeling so much love and affection from this cow and calf. First time it dawned upon him that this meat which is there on my plate is a meat of an animal like this, who has love, who has emotions, who has everything. So Maharaj excused himself and told him, I'm not hungry. He walked away. That day night, Maharaj takes his second, probably the third vow. He took another vow in between. The third vow he takes that I will never eat meat in my life. Because he made a simple connection. Simple connection. So spiritual life, most of it is all about common sense. We are so dumb, or we are so dull-headed, we are not able to appreciate the facts around. So if you are able to make that connection that what I'm eating is a life of a living entity who also has a family, who also has emotions, immediately you can give it up. Very easy. He made a very quick decision and he just gave it up. One of the first few days when Maharaj was in Delhi, there was one American guy called Christopher Hills. He had arranged a conference, a huge stadium booked in Delhi, 4,000, 5,000 people, jam-packed. They have come here, and he brought all the biggest sadhus, gurus of India together on the stage so that all of them can hear from them. This was almost the period of Kumbh Mela. So generally during Kumbh Mela, you have all the sadhus, the gurus of the Himalayas who come down to the plains. So this Christopher Hills wanted to take that opportunity, and he gathered a big gathering, and you name the top guru, the yogis, all of them on the stage, and people are waiting to listen to them, to have darshan of them. Christopher Hills, he takes the mic and he says, the program has to end sharp at 8 p.m. So one guru, he takes the mic and starts to give his speech, his bhashan or whatever, pravachan. And he is going on and on, because once a spiritual guru starts to speak, very difficult to stop. So this one was going on and on. All the others started to get irritated because they understood that we are not going to get chance. Now it is the guy who is powerful, survival of the fittest. Everyone started to jump to hold that mic because everyone wanted to speak. They have all come here to speak, and such a big audience, very difficult to get again, right? All of them jump to the mic, and people are criticizing Christopher Hills on the stage, and right in front of 2,000, 3,000 people, the biggest gurus are fighting like kids on the stage. And young Richard has come all the way from America to India to meet spiritual gurus, and he's seeing all these people fight on the stage. He's like confused whether I've come to the right place or not. And suddenly Christopher Hills, you know what he does? He jumps on the stage, pulls the mic, removes the cord, runs away with the mic. Program over. So Maharaj comes out of the program completely confused what to do. So that time he meets a Swami called Satchidananda. He tells him a very nice point. He tells him that don't get confused, because everyone is on a different level of progress. In the Journey Home book, there's a lot of stories, but there are a lot of deep lessons to reflect on. So this Swami Satchidananda, he tells young Richard that we cannot expect every practitioner to be perfect. Everyone is on a different level. If we start to judge others because of their fault, we will also fall in the same trap. Better to focus on your growth rather than to judge others. Whatever is their level, it's between them and God. You become better. Yoga is a process of refinement. So what is in spiritual life? We are all trying to become better. better in chanting, better in reading, better in our dealings, better in our thoughts. Every day we are supposed to at least become a little more refined, at least reflect on these tendencies. And he tells him the biggest problem in this world is selfishness. In order to achieve perfection, we have to be very, very disciplined. And most importantly, he says, a true yogi is one who lives with the highest human conduct. Or in Srila Prabhupada's words, Srila Prabhupada would say, a devotee means a gentleman or a gentlewoman. Very good in his dealings. So Maharaj, in his initial days only, he got this understanding that everyone is on a different level of progress. So when we see devotees fighting or some issues here and there, we cannot expect everyone to be on the same level because everyone is work in progress. So you don't have to get confused by seeing issues around. So Maharaj, from there he goes towards Rishikesh. Generally in the land of India, if someone wants to achieve spiritual knowledge, spiritual realization, the basic understanding is you go towards the north, right? Vairagya means renunciation, means you go towards north. Himalayas are seen to be the seat of knowledge or the place where you get realizations. So Maharaj started to walk towards the north, and the start of the Himalayas is Rishikesh, where Ganga is flowing. So many ashrams on the bank of the Ganga in Rishikesh. So Maharaj comes to the ashram of Swami Chidananda, and Swami Chidananda, he teaches him something very important. He tells him that life is meant for realizing God, and if you don't realize God, we have wasted our human form of life. The same philosophy. Manushya janma paya Radha Krishna na bajiya janiya shuniya vishakaya. Then he tells him something very important. The problem with people who are into the spiritual path, the trap is, they think that spiritual life means doing meditation in the morning, meditation in the evening, and in the day you do whatever nonsense you want. That's the idea people have. So he says, when we do meditation in the morning, meditation in the evening, that's very good, we have to do it. Through all this meditation, we gain some Shakti, we gain some sadhana bal. But if in the day we show selfishness, we show petty-mindedness, whatever we have gained through our sadhana is all wasted away. So it's very important that we do our chanting well, we focus on those hours of chanting. But it's also important that the other hours when we are not chanting, our dealings with others, how we go around in life, also will very much reflect whether what we have gained through our sadhana is going to be retained or is going to be drained out completely. So when Maharaj was there in Rishikesh, there was one sadhu who came to Maharaj and told him, I have been observing you for a very long time. You are very determined. Now I give you the dress of a sadhu. And he gave him dhoti and a uttari to wear and inner cloth, kopin to wear. And Maharaj threw his jeans and everything in the water. And this sadhu, while going, he told him, Ganga is your mother and she will teach you a lot of wisdom. And the sadhu walked away. So this is the point. When Maharaj sits, he finds a rock at Rishikesh next to Ganga, and he decides that he will do 1 month of meditation. 1 month he will meditate. What kind of meditation? He will sit on this rock from morning till evening, not getting up. Morning to evening, sit on that rock. Evening, go and sleep in a cave. And while going, there was one carrot seller who would give him 1 carrot. So for 1 full month, Maharaj, the only thing that he would eat and drink was Ganga water and 1 carrot. Can you imagine this? So 1 month Maharaj did this. Maharaj writes on the journey home that 1 month what he learned from Mother Ganga, he never learned it in his 19 years of school and college. These holy rivers, Mother Ganga, ya cow or Bhagavad Gita, these are spiritual entities. When you are around these personalities, wisdom automatically flows. Pragya, inner wisdom automatically comes. So Maharaj, in this section of the journey home is so beautiful, filled with such wonderful lessons that Maharaj learned from the Ganga. I'll just touch upon a few and then we'll continue the story ahead. So Maharaj the first lesson that he learned is, Ganga on an external level, on the superficial level, there are so many arts, so many designs that the water forms. As soon as the design is formed, the design vanishes. The next design, the next art comes. So similarly, Maharaj learned this lesson just by observing Ganga. That in life, on an external level, everything is going to change. Nothing is going to remain same. Abrahma stamba pariyantam sarvam maya mayam jagat. Everything is changing. Everything is in a flux. It's constantly moving, constantly changing. But Maharaj also was realizing this, that on the top of Ganga, there is so much chaos, so much movement. But underneath the Ganga, there is a steady current that flows. So similarly, on the external level, everything will change in this world. But spiritual life is about going deeper. And once you go deeper, you will experience that continuous, steady truth that we are all looking for. Maharaj learned another lesson. Ganga, the journey of Ganga starts from Gomukh, Gangotri, Himalayas, and Ganga goes all the way to Bengal, meets in Ganga Sagar, the ocean. It's a long journey. It's not a short journey. For Ganga to reach the ocean, it's not an overnight journey, it's a very, very long journey. Literally half of India, Ganga is crossing. Similarly, for all of us to reach God, it's going to be a long haul. It's a long journey. And in this journey, there are going to be many, many obstacles that will come. In the journey of Ganga, there are so many big mountains, rocks, so many things. But Ganga has learned the art of never getting discouraged and never giving up. Ganga knows how to overcome every obstacle, however difficult it may be. It knows the art. This way, that way, some way or the other, Ganga will pass through. So Maharaj learned that if we all want to reach God, first thing we have to realize and understand and accept that there will be obstacles. And also we have to know that if we are very focused in that goal, we will develop the determination, the intelligence to overcome, maneuver around the obstacles and go there, never getting discouraged. Maharaj learned another very important lesson. Because he was sitting on this rock, the Ganga was in front of him, he could learn a lot of lessons. Imagine if he was in the Ganga, do you think he would have learned all this? His life would be in a mess. Ganga would throw him up and down. Where is the question of lessons? His mind is like everywhere. So he realized and understood this very important lesson, which is very crucial for all of us. If we want to learn lessons in life, we have to remove time to be detached from our own life. As long as we are in the flow of life, in the chaos of our life, we will never learn lessons. We have to step aside. We have to be a detached observer. That's the understanding of spiritual life. So removing time for contemplation, for reflection, for study of scripture, swadhyaya, is a time where we detach ourselves. And our own life, looking at our own life from a sense of detachment, we can learn so many things from our own life. We don't have to look at others' life only. We can look at our own life and learn so many things. But for that, we have to take one step aside and observe our own life in a very detached spirit. The fourth lesson that Maharaj learnt is, on the bank of Ganga, there are so many histories that have happened and gone. Mughals might have come, British might have come, so many governments come and gone. Before the Mughals also, there will be so many kings who have come and gone. Everything around Ganga has been changing, but Ganga is constant. Similarly, in this world, everything in this world will keep changing. What you take seriously today is not going to be there tomorrow. Your joy today is not going to be there tomorrow. Your sorrow today is not going to be there tomorrow. It's all passing phase. What this truth is, bhakti to Krishna. Satyam, satyam, punah satyam, harer namaiva kevalam. Maharaj had another very interesting realization. And all this he's just learning sitting in that rock. So probably that rock is still there for those who want to go and try this out. But you don't have to try it. The lessons are already here. So Maharaj was sitting on that rock and he was seeing that there was a branch of a tree that would fall in Ganga, or a leaf that would fall in Ganga. It's fallen in Ganga and Ganga is reaching the ocean. But what is the guarantee that this leaf, this branch of the tree is going to reach the ocean? What is the guarantee? Most probably it will go for some time in the flow of Ganga, and one of the shores it will get stranded and it will not go further. So Maharaj ji had this thought and this reflection. We all enter into the water of bhakti. Bhakti is like Ganga. The flow of Ganga, the flow of bhakti takes you to that ocean. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu. It takes us to the feet of Krishna. And it's a long journey. We have all in this water. Being in ISKCON, we are already in the river of bhakti. But the question is, how many of us are actually going to reach that goal? Because on the way, there are too many distractions and too many temptations. So Maharaj was reflecting in a very humble mode. I've started spiritual life. The question is, will I reach the end? Many people started. How many of us can actually stay till that end is a big question. For that, we have to be very focused, very attentive, right? In association of devotees so that we don't get stranded here and there. One day, Maharaj got up in his cave in the middle of the night and he was seeing that Ganga is still flowing in the night. Maharaj was just thinking, what is this river? It's in the day, whether it's day or night, this river is constantly flowing. So Maharaj learned a lesson that in order to achieve that goal, we have to, it's not that we are not supposed to sleep physically, but the point is we have to be alert on our spiritual journey. Jiva jago, Gaura Chandra bole, Kota nidra jao maya pisha chira kole. So therefore the Lord comes as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and is waking all of us up. We have to give up the sleep of ignorance and continuously keep moving towards Krishna. One day, when one of these 30 days, when Maharaj was sitting on that stone, one day he had a very strong calling. Maharaj had a mouth organ called a harmonica. You all know what's a mouth organ? You play with that mouth. So Maharaj, this was there from his childhood, teenage days. So Maharaj had that. He gave up his jeans and t-shirt and all those things, but this harmonica was still there with him. The last piece of attachment. So one day, the pull was so strong, he left that rock and he was dragged to that harmonica. It literally, the harmonica was calling him. Come, play me. So Maharaj had to leave that rock and he climbed up that cliff and went to that cave, got that harmonica, came back and sat on that rock. And Maharaj was looking at the harmonica and thinking, this metal piece has brought so much emotions in my heart. It's made me pull me away from this 1 month vow. So Maharaj was looking at this and thinking, this harmonica served me so long. It has been my best friend, my best companion. But at this point, this harmonica is becoming a distraction for me. It's not allowing me to focus on my path. So Maharaj offered a prayer to harmonica or whatever. He thanked harmonica, grateful for whatever the harmonica has done. And Maharaj told Ganga that I'm offering this to you. And Maharaj threw the harmonica. And one bloop, the harmonica went. So the lesson is, we all have to, at some point, let go of our attachments. We all have something that literally pulls us away from our spiritual path, some force. Lord Krishna, Arjuna is asking the 3rd chapter of Gita, Lord Krishna, what is that force that just pulls us into a wrong direction even though we don't want it? So we all have our own attachments. So Maharaj at that point just let go. Just immediately after this incident, all this while Maharaj has been looking at Ganga and learning all this. He decided, let me hear Ganga. He started to close his eyes and hear Ganga. In Rishikesh, Ganga flows good. The sound of a river is also very therapeutic, it's very soothing and healing basically. Maharaj started to hear Ganga. And suddenly one day he heard the sound Om coming from Ganga. And one day, whether you believe it or not, he heard the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right? I don't know how many of you, we can all go and try. Now that we know Mahamantra, we'll hear Mahamantra everywhere. Maharaj never heard of the Mahamantra before. He never heard of Krishna, Ram in his life. Suddenly he's hearing the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Maharaj starts to love this song. He doesn't know who this is and what this is, nothing. He's just singing along. And Maharaj mentions a lesson. Because he let go of that harmonica, Ganga awarded him the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is a lesson. When you let go of something, then only you are awarded something. It is never the other way around. It's not that you experience spiritual thing and then you let go. You have to let go and then only you are given something, right? It's always give, let go, and then take, and then only you receive. So Maharaj was so happy to receive all this Mahamantra and all the blessings, all the lessons that he learned. So finally, after 30 days of this tapasya, every day when Maharaj would come down from that cave, and go towards Ganga, there would be one person selling peanuts, mungfali, selling mungfali. So Maharaj had his eyes there. So every day he would think that now I have taken 1 month vow. After 1 month I will eat mungfali. Like now Kartik month is starting now. Devotees do a lot of vows in Kartik month. No sweet, no this, no that. The day Kartik gets over, my God, right? You're just waiting for that day, And as it inches closer now, the desire becomes very, very strong. So Maharaj was thinking, every day he was meditating on that peanut a little. I will eat it, I will eat it. So last day, evening when he's going to that cave, someone had given him 1 rupee. Because in India, you wear a sadhu dress, some money comes. Something other someone gives. So he gave that 1 rupee and bought a big bag of peanuts. And he thought, I will go and eat, I will have peanut feast in my cave. As he's going, it was a jungle, it was dark, a monkey comes. And a monkey pounces on him and takes the entire bag and goes away. And as Maharaj, there were 2-3 peanuts fallen down, he goes and picks that up, another monkey comes and takes everything. And Maharaj has nothing in his hand. So he goes back to the cave and he has a realization. What was the realization? Very interesting. He was thinking that in this world, like this monkey, peanut, in English, when we use this word peanut, it's for peanut, but we also say when something is insignificant, we say this is a peanut. This is like, sabse tuchh cheez hai. So Maharaj was thinking, in this world, like these monkeys, people fight for petty things. छोटे-छोटे चीजों के लिए झगड़ा. Never because of big things. Small petty things people fight. So Maharaj was thinking, what I have gained from Ganga, compared to all that wisdom, these peanuts are literally peanuts, insignificant. Let these monkeys fight, I am happy with whatever I am getting. So in life, we have to learn this lesson of letting go of small things. Just like, they say a crane, it stands in one leg and it is meditating. What is a crane meditating on? It is meditating on a fish, but not a small fish. It lets go of the small fishes, and when it gets the big fish, the crane just eats it. Similarly, as devotees, if we want to achieve Krishna, we have to let go of small petty fights. Chhod do. Give it up. Then only you will be able to achieve that big thing in life. If you are caught in small things, the big thing will slip away. In same Rishikesh, there is this Lakshman Jhula, long walking bridge. So Maharaj one day crossed this Lakshman Jhula and he was walking one path, completely isolated path, and he bumped across a leper colony. Leprosy, very contagious, all lepers. Leprosy is a very dangerous disease. Your skin, your body parts start to melt, blood and pus starts to come out, and very contagious, it can spread. Group of lepers, someone's nose is melted, someone's fingers are melted, right? All of them started to surround Maharaj. And they started to shout, Bakshish, Bakshish, give us donation, give us donation. Because they saw an American guy, they understood that this guy has a lot of money. But they didn't realize that this fellow is also like one of them only, literally poor. So they all started to surround him. Bakshish, paisa do, paisa do, paisa do. And literally their hands were coming very close to him. Maharaj could smell it. And he was thinking, I'm going to die like these people. Very poor people. And Maharaj didn't know what to do. They had surrounded him completely. And these people checked all his pocket and understood that he doesn't have any money. They let him go. Maharaj was just running away from there. And suddenly his eyes locked on an old leper lady. She was lying on the ground, helpless. But in her eyes, Maharaj could see so much love. The other lepers wanted to take something, but this lady only wanted to give love to someone. No one was there to accept her love. And Maharaj, he's been away from home for so long, he's been looking for that love. So Maharaj, his eyes locked on this eyes of this lady, and she had so much genuine love. Maharaj, till now he was so fearful of lepers. Looking at this lady, Maharaj forgot all that fear. He ran to this lady and kneeled down, and this lady put both her hands on his head and just blessed him. She didn't want to ask anything, she just wanted to give. And Maharaj was so much in tears receiving love from this lady. So Maharaj writes few very important lessons here. The first thing, we all have the need to receive love and to give love also. It's not that we just want to receive love. We also want to give love. It has to be balanced in both ways. If you just receive and you don't give, you'll not feel complete. This lady was so poor, but still she had the need to give love to someone. So it's very important that we receive love from people, and we also try to give love, share that love with others. Second very important lesson Maharaj learnt. Maharaj was experiencing there that this lady is the most beautiful lady. Can you imagine a leper lady whose body limbs have been melted? But Maharaj was thinking, this is the most beautiful lady I have ever seen. Because she had so much genuine, selfless kindness in her heart. So real beauty is where we can show kindness to others. That's where real beauty is. In the Ramayana, you have these two personalities, Kaikai and Hanuman. Kaikai was the most beautiful lady. But the day selfishness entered her heart, she threw Ram away for 14 years because she wanted herself and her son to be the king. That same Kaikai, whom Dasharath would look at every day and say, you're the most beautiful person. All the citizens in Ayodhya felt Kaikai is the most beautiful. From that point on, Kaikai became the most ugly. No one even wanted to look at her. And in this same Ramayana, you have Hanumanji, who's a monkey, not at all beautiful externally. But still, he is still considered the most beautiful because he has pure love for the Lord. And the third lesson Maharaj learned here, overcoming the tendency to judge others. If he had thought that, all these lepers are like this, they all want to trouble me, this lady is also like this, Maharaj wouldn't have experienced that love. So we have this tendency to immediately put a label to judge others. Throughout journey home, Maharaj had this one constant prayer everywhere. Maharaj is praying to God, my dear Lord, let me not judge others. Even when we come to a spiritual path, we have a sense of feeling superior. We feel that we are better than others. So Maharaj constantly is praying for this. My dear Lord, let me not fall into the trap of judging others and feeling myself superior. And he mentions there, we have to learn to see the inherent good in others, hate the disease but not the diseased. And Srila Prabhupada is a classic example of this. If Srila Prabhupada had to be judgmental, ISKCON would never be there. Prabhupada went to a place, a group of people, hippie boys and girls coming to Prabhupada. Prabhupada never judged them for the wrong that they were doing. Prabhupada always saw that spark in them and inspired them, encouraged them. The story is there. Probably I'll tell you this last and then we can end. I think it's already 9:22. When Prabhupada was in America in the initial days, there was one guy who would come to the temple, and this fellow would eat and then sleep. Get up for lunch, eat and sleep. This is what he did. And he would sleep right on the door. The temple president wrote to Srila Prabhupada, this fellow is a nonsense. He's a nuisance to our center. He's creating a wrong image. Visitors are getting frustrated looking at him. Please give us permission to throw him out. Prabhupada wrote back, can't you tolerate him like I'm tolerating you all? Prabhupada said this, what else you do? They tolerated him. This guy's name was Peter. And the devotees would call him Crazy Peter, Pagal Peter. This Crazy Peter later became an initiated disciple of Prabhupada. His name became Kushakrit Prabhu. He translated so many of our Acharya's book from Sanskrit and Bengali into English. Why? Because Prabhupada saw that spark, the good even in that worst person. I think this is a very important note to end with. There are many stories and lessons, unlimited. but this is a thought for us to meditate on. This tendency to judge others is so very strong. We immediately come to a conclusion without even understanding why the person has done what. Sincerely praying to God that we can overcome this tendency. And basically what we saw in today's whatever little stories we saw, around till 14 stories and certain lessons, that spiritual life is a path where we are trying to not look into others' faults, but trying to reflect on our own faults and trying to become a little better version of ourselves than what we were yesterday. That's what our focus should be. If you can do this, then our journey can be very, very nice. So this year being Radhanath Swami Maharaj's 75th birthday, many years ago when Maharaj wrote the Journey Home, we had distributed a lot of journey homes across Goa. But this being the 75th birthday, many of us thought that we will try our best to distribute as many journey homes as possible. So we have the journey home books in English, Marathi and Hindi. It will also come. So my sincere prayer and request to all of you all, humble request, is that all of you all can take one journey home. I would rather request all of you all, especially the devotees, to take at least 4-5 journey homes. So the English journey home is a Jaiko print, a very high quality international print, which is at 450. We are just giving it at 350. The Marathi is 300. We are giving it at 250. And for those who take sets of 5, this is what we are hoping for, that Margaon devotees will take. Amazing book to give it as a gift or whatever, or sell it or whatever. So those who take sets of 5 Marathi, which should actually come to 1,250, we are giving it at 1,000. And English, which should come to 1,750, we are giving it at 1,500. So we have a lot of copies of Marathi and English. My desire is I don't want to take anything back with me. So yeah, but all of y'all can try whatever. But definitely, I just spoke some stories, but rest of the stories, the action movie is there in the book. Please read it, and it's a book that you can read hundreds of times. Each time you'll learn so many new things in that. So please take your own copy and try to give it to others also. So once again, very grateful to all the Margaon devotees, Sandeep Krishna Prabhu, Sundari Naika Mataji, Surad Madhav Prabhu, for kindly giving me the chance to speak on this book. And as I told you in the beginning, I think this is a very good culture, a culture where we speak on the book and then there is a book also, right? So course and a course material, right? So this is on this book, but then there are so many other books of Srila Prabhupada and all our great acharyas. One by one we can have like a course book. Everyone comes with a book and then you speak on the book and reflect on the book. This is like a very good culture for devotees to stay happy lifelong. So once again, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.